In Massachusetts, over 500,000 residents rely on private wells for their drinking water. However, unlike public water systems, these wells are not subject to any statewide regulations or requirements for routine water quality testing. Many residents who rely on private wells are consuming water that may be unsafe. Naturally occurring contaminants in well water can include substances such as arsenic, E. coli, radon, and uranium, which can lead to both short-term and long-term health impacts. From 2020 to 2022, RCAP Solutions conducted 502 water quality tests across several Massachusetts towns which had a high concentration of private wells. We discovered that approximately 32% of wells had levels of contaminants exceeding state health standards and/or suggesting potential health risks. Man-made PFAS contaminants have also posed a growing concern. In fact, the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection's recent private well PFAS sampling program found that approximately 5% of wells had levels of PFAS exceeding state health standards. These toxic forever chemicals can contaminate groundwater sources and cause a slew of human health impacts. RCAP Solutions has partnered with the Health Foundation of Central Massachusetts and several other organizations to form the Coalition for Safe Drinking Water. This coalition is currently engaged with key stakeholders and government officials to advocate for sensible, health-based regulations for private wells and financial resources for homeowners who discovered contaminants in their well water. An environmental bill, known as an Act Promoting Drinking Water Quality for All, would initiate the development of these regulations and would better protect homeowners who rely on wells for drinking.
My name is Dr. Alan Woolf. I'm a pediatrician and a clinician at Boston Children's Hospital. I'm also the Associate Chief Medical Education Officer at our hospital and the Director of the Region 1 Pediatric Environmental Health Specialty Unit, which covers all of New England. I was interested in the coalition because of my interest in the environmental health of children and their well-being, as well as that of their families. And part of our interests in children's environmental health, of course, is the safety of their drinking water, since that's of the highest priority in preserving their health. And that contaminants in water can lead to childhood illnesses and illnesses for others in the family. For example, arsenic is naturally occurring in some well water and can have many toxic effects on the body. Nitrates in well water can poison an infant's blood. Those families in Massachusetts that receive municipal water can rest assured that their water meets state and federal guidelines for safety. Those families whose drinking water comes from private wells are not so protected. I just want to point out that the American Academy of Pediatrics, in its recent policy statement, issued guidance that called for government action. The AAP recommended that private wells used for drinking water should be tested at least annually for some contaminants, and that the state should provide funding and resources necessary for well waters to get that done. I think that we do a very good job in Massachusetts of trying to protect the health of the public in so many areas. And this is an area where we should be doing more. You know, our point is that we want to keep both children and adults safe. To do this, we need to pay attention to the quality of our drinking water. This legislation will provide the resources needed to assure that homeowners with private wells have the same protection as those families receiving municipal water. This is an important step, so all we're asking is for support in passing this legislation to help us eliminate this environmental threat to children's health and, frankly, for adults and their health as well.
For more information about private wells, potential contaminants, why regulations are needed, and to join the Coalition for Safe Drinking Water, please visit whatsinyourwellwater.org.